Welcome to Finance Deep Dive. Today, we're talking about something big, a major shakeup in the U.S. H-1B visa program. And trust me, this could completely change the game for how America brings in the best and brightest from all over the world. So, this all boils down to one massive question, right? Are these new rules actually protecting American jobs, or are we accidentally putting up a giant keep out sign for the world's top talent? But before we get into all the changes, let's take a step back. To really get what's at stake here, we need to understand why this H-1B program is so important to the U.S. economy to begin with. Okay, so what is an H-1B visa? Think of it as a special pass. It's a temporary visa that lets U.S. companies hire folks from other countries for really specific, highly skilled jobs. We're talking about things that need deep expertise, like quantum computing or cutting-edge cancer research. It's basically a magnet for brainpower. And that really gets to the heart of it. The whole point of the H-1B isn't just to fill random jobs. Nope, it's about being strategic. It's how the U.S. gets access to top-tier skills in fields like AI, biotech, and semiconductors. The stuff that keeps America at the forefront of innovation. But here's where it gets tricky. There's always been this tension with a program. On one hand, it's an amazing tool for bringing in the absolute best talent. But on the other hand, there's always that worry, right? The fear that it could be used to push out American workers, or maybe even keep wages down. All right, so let's get into the juicy stuff, the 2025 rule changes. What exactly is happening? Let me tell you, this isn't just a little tune-up. We're talking about a complete overhaul designed to change how the entire system works. It really comes down to four major shifts. First, there's a big new fee. Second, the whole selection process is being flipped on its head to favor higher-paying jobs. Third, the rules for what even counts as a specialty job are getting way tighter. And finally, they're getting tougher on screening by getting rid of a lot of interview waivers. Okay, that fee. Let's talk about it because it's a big one. We're looking at a potential one-time fee of $100,000. Wow. The idea here is pretty clear. It's meant to be a filter. It's supposed to make sure that only companies who are really serious and are hiring for high-value roles are the ones applying. And if you think that's it, hold on. On top of all that, Congress is kicking around even more ideas. Things like bumping the minimum salary up to $150,000 and making companies prove they tried to hire Americans first. So yeah, the trend is definitely heading in a more restrictive direction. So the big question is, what does this all mean for jobs here in the U.S.? Is this a good thing or a bad thing for American workers? Let's break it down. Well, there are really two sides to this coin. On the pro side, the argument is that this will protect U.S. workers from getting undercut, maybe even push wages up and encourage companies to train more people here at home. But the con side is pretty serious. You could end up with major talent shortages, startups could get priced out completely, and that could really put the brakes on American innovation. Okay, let's zoom out for a second, because this isn't just about the job market. This is about America's place in the world, its competitive edge on the global stage. So you can see the potential ripple effects here. Sure, in the short term, maybe U.S. tech workers get a boost. But long term, we could be looking at a serious skills gap. And think about businesses. The big tech giants, they can probably handle these new costs. But small businesses, startups, they could be in real trouble. And on a global scale, you have to wonder, will top talent just decide it's easier to go to Canada or the UK or somewhere in the EU? That could really chip away at America's lead in innovation. And this really shows you the divide. What these changes might do, maybe without even meaning to, is give the huge established companies a massive leg up. And that's a problem because it's often the smaller startups that are driving the most exciting breakthrough ideas. This quote here just nails the core issue. It's a move toward protectionism, plain and simple. And yeah, it might save some jobs right now, but at what cost? You're taking a huge risk of damaging the very innovation ecosystem that made the U.S. an economic powerhouse in the first place. So at the end of the day, we're left with this one critical question. Is this progress or is it protectionism? Is it a smart move to strengthen the country from the inside, or is it a step backward that could actually hurt us in a long run? How we answer that is going to shape the future of American innovation for years to come. We're definitely going to be tracking this story as it develops. Hey, if you like the content in this video, don't forget to subscribe. It really motivates us to keep posting.